There is one phrase that when I use it with my clients, I get the absolute most resistance from. Some clients even refuse to say it, but it is one of the most powerful phrases that we can use when we are tapping. This week in the podcast, we continue our My Favorite Phrase series as we look at one of my favorite phrases that creates change very, very quickly. This is Monterastelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 554, originally aired April 12th, 2023. Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. Today is part 5 of My Favorite Phrase series, where we're going to talk about a phrase that is one that I use a great deal. It's one that I love, and it's one that my clients don't always love. So the phrase that I use the most that really causes problems with my clients is the phrase, easy and gentle with myself. And almost always it's combined with one of our other previous favorite phrases, I give myself permission. And the reason why people resist tap on being easy and gentle with themselves is they are under the mistaken impression that when I'm being easy and gentle with myself, what I'm actually doing is I am giving myself permission to fail. I'm giving myself permission not to be fully present to what's going on. I'm giving myself permission to lower my standards. Because the subconscious mind hears easy and gentle and saying, whatever it was is okay. Whatever it was doesn't matter. Whatever it was, we can do that again. But that's not actually what's going on in this situation. For me, being easy and gentle with myself means that I'm choosing to recognize the context in which I am acting in that particular moment. Because one of the things that we do is we make the best possible choice we can make based on the information we have in the resource state that we are in. And when we are looking back on a moment, oftentimes we're looking back on a moment in a different resource state or with more information. I'm sure you've said to yourself at some point, oh, if I only knew, and that only knew in that particular moment would be something that would make it so much easier for me to make a better choice. And so when I'm judging my past self, I'm not judging my past self based on what was going on in that moment and what I knew. I'm judging my past self on what I know now. And I'm sure you've seen the silly meme of t-shirts that are being sold online that say, don't judge me for what I said when I was hungry. And that's because we recognize the fact that our resource state impacts the choices that we make. You know, there's a reason that we added the word hangry to the dictionary a couple of years ago. It's because we're recognizing more and more that resource state impacts the choices that we make. And so if I am judging myself in the past based on the resource state and the information I have right now, I'm being really unfair and I'm being really uncharitable with myself and how I'm engaging with what is in front of me. Because in many circumstances, if I had different information, I would have made a different choice. But I didn't have different information, so I couldn't make that different choice. And so when I'm tapping on the phrase, I give myself permission to be easy and gentle with myself. I'm not saying I'm giving myself permission not to take responsibility. I'm not saying I'm giving myself permission to make lots and lots of mistakes. I'm not saying I give myself permission to make this mistake again and to make this mistake again. Instead, what I'm saying is I give myself permission to recognize I am human. I give myself permission to recognize I am fallible. I give myself permission to recognize that even with correct knowledge, I am going to be in a circumstance where maybe my resource state overcomes the action I'm taking. I'm giving myself permission to recognize the fact that I can be imperfect and be complete and be moral and be the person that I want to be. And so when I'm saying I give myself permission to be easy and gentle with myself, I'm saying, I understand. It's okay. You wanted to do better and you didn't. And the really fascinating thing about this is if we're ever in a situation where someone else in our life has made a choice and it wasn't the best choice. But again, they were impacted by their resource state, or they were impacted by the information they had. As a general rule, particularly the people we like, know, and trust, we're willing to give them a pass. We're willing to say, it's okay because you did the best that you could. You didn't know that sort of thing. And when I tap on, I give myself permission to be easy and gentle with myself. I'm simply extending myself the exact same grace I am willing to extend to other people around me. And so that's the reason why it's such a powerful phrase. And like I said, the reason why my clients resist it so much is they feel like they're giving themselves a pass. And so if you're struggling in that particular way, the way we tap on that is I give myself permission to be easy and gentle with myself while still taking full responsibility for my past choices. I give myself permission to be easy and gentle with myself, knowing that I can still learn from what is going on. I give myself permission to be easy and gentle with myself, knowing that I'm not giving myself permission to keep making the same mistakes. And so inside of doing that, I'm getting a chance to address both sides of it. I'm recognizing that I want to act in a different way as I move forward because I'm learning from my past experiences, but I'm also recognizing who I am, the context I was in, and my own humanity as I'm doing that. And oftentimes when we tap on that particular phrase, what it does is it just gives us a little more space, because if I'm in a scolding mood, then it's going to be really hard to create transformation, because in a scolding mood, I'm like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And it's hard to create change when, I don't know about you, when being scolded. The times in my life I've been yelled at and I've been scolded, it makes me feel bad, but it doesn't really create change. And so doing that to myself doesn't work as well. And so by thinking about it in that particular way, by giving myself space in that particular way of being easy and gentle with myself, what it does is it allows me to, instead of just say it was wrong, it creates the space to be curious. And I go, okay, great. Why did I make the choice there? What subconscious driver was pushing me to that choice? What fear was showing up in that moment? Because if I'm being scolded even by myself, it's going to be really hard to be reflective because my head is hung and I'm feeling really, really sad and disappointed for my choices. But by putting myself where I'm being gentle with myself, I'm just creating that much space. I'm creating some capacity, which allows me to create transformation in a slightly different way. So I would encourage you, the next time you sit down to tap, as you're tapping this week, try that phrase out. I give myself permission to be easy and gentle with myself. Let me know what you think about that. I always love to hear feedback, input, how you're experiencing these things, because the greatest teachers in my life are my clients, or the folks that consume my content and give me feedback from their own experience, because then I can grow my own. So if you have some insight or inspiration on this, please let me know. support@tappingqna.com. I love hearing your thoughts. If you know someone in your life who could appreciate a little conversation like this, be our ambassador. Don't spam your inbox. Don't send it to everybody in the world, but you might know one or two people who are tapping fluent or just need to be a little gentler with themselves, and share this with them. Even if you send them an email and they don't watch it, they don't listen to it, they don't click it, know that their day is going to be a little better. Because I know in my life, when someone says, hey, I'm thinking of you, this might make your day better, it does, even if I don't consume that thing. So you're going to make someone's life better just by recommending this to them. I know that sounds super, super cheesy, because it is, but on a certain level, I also feel like it is true. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the podcast. In podcasting parlance, subscribe is always free. You can find the show all over the web: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora. All you need to do is search for Tapping Q&A, click on subscribe, turn on follow, most importantly, turn on the notifications. And each time a new podcast comes out, you know right away. If you got a question, a comment, something you'd like us to cover in the future, I always love hearing from you. Again, support@tappingqna.com. We're going to be doing a bunch of interviews over the course of the spring and the summer. I'd love to know what topics and people you think we should be talking to. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, Gene Monterastelli, hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.